did you do that? How did you do that?
So today when I decided to work out, today's Friday actually, I hadn't, at first I was contemplating whether I should record or not. As you can see, this is a trainer in the background. He was recording himself, and when I saw there weren't that many people around and he was recording, and I was like, you know what, let me take my camera and record what I was doing. And then later on, he actually lent me what he was using to record himself. And when he saw me, I was trying to struggle. I have my other camera in my bag, but it's so huge that I don't like taking it out for some reason to make people uncomfortable. But when he saw me struggling with my phone, he lent me his that attachment. I took a picture of it because I think I'm gonna buy it now that knowing my phone is pretty record pretty well. So anyway, what I was doing here is almost the same thing that I did with the last time I did legs, and I think I recorded some of it. And I placed my feet different position on the platform. This is the squat machine, and I have my feet close together, and what I was doing is going very slow. This burns. I cannot do at least 10 repetitions. I was going very slow, and it really stimulates the muscles. It really helps a lot. And so once I was done with that, and I was like, let me check to see how it recorded. So that's the first thing that I recorded. And then the second one, I decided to position it slightly different, just to see my quad, how I was performing it. I didn't go too low. I should have, but that thing was burning. It was burning. I can't go any lower than that because it was really burning. So that's a different angle of it, right below me. Now that I'm seeing it, is not the best angle. So I was going very slow. This is a close stance. I actually thought I recorded one wide stance also. I guess that was the first one that I did when I was contemplating whether I should record or not. So yeah, and it's, like I said, it's the same kind of recording, like the same kind of feet placement on the platform that I did on, I believe it was Tuesday, the last time I did legs. I did a small recording showing how I was doing on the platform when I was doing the leg press. So here I took a quick break, and then because the muscles were really burning, and then I went back again. This time I'm doing it a wide stance. The slower you go, the more, the muscle work. It really burned the quad. It was burning. Looking at it, I feel the pain again. And I think I did another version where I think it's the next clip, where I took the camera. It was a very short version. I put it above my leg just to see all the muscles that were working. It was burning so badly, and I had the 95 pound, the 90 pound on the machine, so I didn't want to do too much and then lose control. And I still have my back problem, so I don't want to create more problem. I just wanted to show you guys the leg placement and how my quad was doing, and that was the only reason I put it, based on my perspective. Then the next exercise that I did was the leg press. I took a long rest on this one. looking at this, that's a very good placement. You get to see my entire body and my legs too. The main thing is my legs. So I took all the plates off, and I hate when people finish with a machine and they leave all their weights on it. I had to remove 4 plates on that machine, and then I took a rest. And not everybody can really lift those weights. I remember one point there was a elderly who wanted to use it, but the last person who used it left it with a whole bunch of plates, and I just hate it. It's the guy that was hanging on the thing over there. He was the last one who used it. I felt like I wanted to say something to him. Then I was like, you know what? I don't want to cause problem. But anyway, I'm gonna black his face anyway, so you won't know who I'm talking about. So I had my feet different position on the platform. I took all the weights off just to, I guess, to sort of stimulate the legs. And the main point here is the tempo of the movement. Same thing that I did last time, except with the tempo. I was going very slow, and that burns a lot. Another thing that I have to mention, I have mentioned it before on several other leg videos when I'm using the leg press machine. The distance between my back and the seated the pad, where my butt will be and my back will be, that I try to leave not to put my lower back in between the pads because of my situation with my lower back. So when you see me, I have to extend the seat really high. That's the highest it is. Every time I use it, I push it all the way up, and then I don't let my butt sit on the seated thing. I always have my back, all my entire back, on the back platform, the vest, the back vest. I couldn't think of it. All right, so I started with close stance. Right, close stance, and I was going very slow. As slow as I could handle, pretty much. So for some people this may not be slow, but it was burning. So different kind of tempo from last time. Okay, it was burning. So I put the handle back on, the safety thing back on, and then place my feet slightly below from where it was before. It's just working different part of the legs, that's all. Again, slow tempo. I think the most I was able to do is like 4 with that slow tempo. And by the way, that was one set. All those leg placement on the platform, close stance at higher level, close stance at lower level, shoulder width stance at lower level, shoulder width stance at higher level. That was one set. All of them combined equal to one set. That's the way I sort of think of it. Alright, so now I did shoulder width, slightly, more than shoulder width. Very slow tempo. And by the way, I was not counting how many repetitions that I was doing, because that thing was burning. Once it started burning, I pretty much stop. That's the burn again. And it's just those kind of things that help develop muscles. You do different things, and you could do almost the same thing but different ways. Just twitch it a little bit. It helps a lot. So like I said, last time I did almost the same sort of kind of movement and placement on the feet placement on the platform, but now I'm just doing it slightly different, just with the way I'm moving the weight, very slow. Again, don't mind me. You see my butt is way up there. It's because of my lower back. Now I decided to throw some calf raises. And now that you could see it slightly closer, I do about 10 repetition, like at the tiptoeing, and then a couple repetition below. See, my knees is locked in, and then I do full range now. Sometimes I put my feet close together to do it. I don't know if I did it today. No, I didn't do it. So I felt okay to go to the next set, because for some reason after I did the calf raise, I guess that sort of not eliminate, but sort of I guess what's the term? The pain sort of went away slightly. It was still there, but not as painful as before. Okay, so here, wide stance, very slow, as slow as I can handle. There's the burn. Ooh, it was burning. For some reason, I felt it more on my left leg than my right leg. The left leg is the leg that has the sciatica issue, so I felt it more over on my left leg. So I guess because of the nerve situation on my left leg, that sort of make me feel it more than my right. So all of my leg exercises were very slow tempo. Okay, I don't know how many repetitions I did, but that thing was burning. That's all I know for. It was burning. And I took a picture of the thing that the trainer had before I left that section. I did one recording of the leg extension. Luckily I checked, and then it was very blurry, so I decided to record the next set. The next set looks much better, so this is the better version of it. And luckily I checked. I could have just put it away because I just wanted to record only one set. Something tells me just check it, see how it is, and then long and behold, I saw it was very blurry, so my leg was still burning. So I decided to record the next set. So what I did here, again, that was I remember the weight that I put, it was 30. Okay, so I did half rep, very slow at the lower level. Okay, it's like half of a range of motion. I did like 10 repetitions, and then once I finished it, the 10 half reps, I went higher. 10 half rep at higher level. It's almost like 21s when you do those biceps curls, but this one I just do 10 10 10, and then another 10 repetition full range. So that's like 30 repetitions here on one leg. Then I switch. That burned. It was burning. So I did the same thing with the left leg. The left leg was really in pain after the squat and the leg press, so I decided to do it last. Okay, the same motion. So I will block the other lady that came on the other machine. That was burning. Okay, now I did both legs. This one is, I think I increased the weight. I believe I did 70 pounds. Somewhat of a slow tempo, close, as you can see, both of my legs are close together. It was, I believe I did 10 repetitions. When you're in pain, sometimes you lose count, you just want to finish. So I was supposed to do 10 repetitions. Close stance, not close stance, but yeah. Oh, that was burning. Okay, now I do somewhat shoulder width. Same thing, very slow. I'm supposed to do 10 repetitions. burning. That's all I think I went and I don't know if I continued doing it. I stopped because it was really burning. Just 5 reps. I was supposed to do 10, but I could only handle 5. Here I decided to go really fast now. Close stance. Even that was burning. I can't believe it. Those slow tempo really burns a lot. Okay, and I think I did the same thing with wide stance, very fast also. Ooh, that burns. Looking at myself, I feel it. I feel it again. So that was the only thing I record here for this, and I think I did 3 sets. That was my second set. The third one I did not record. It's the same thing that I did. And then I went to the calf raises, the seated calf raises. This is the first time I've actually positioned it here. I put it in between the machines, and I wasn't expecting to have a good view of it, and surprisingly it was really decent. All I wanted to show you guys was my feet placement on the platform, and I think this one was 30 pounds. The main thing here to look is where my feet is being moved around on the platform, and then my knees are locked in. And here I'm doing only single leg. Here I move it slightly up again. And different position on my feet is the more different range of motion that I have. So for this particular part, that's how much I could, that's my range right now. Range of motion, which is not much. And that was burning too. That was burning. And I move my feet slightly higher. Again, not much of a range of motion, but it helps stimulate different part of the calves. I decided to do the same thing with the other leg. Again, just see how different part of my feet is on the platform. At first I thought one of my legs was blocking the view of the platform, but when looking at it now, it's not bad at all. I think from now on, when I do this particular machine, if I'm doing it slightly different, that's where I'm gonna where I position this camera. That's where where I position the phone. That's where I'm gonna put it. And all the single legs, I believe I did it with 30 pounds. And here, most of my foot is past the platform, so there's not that much of range of motion. Yeah. Here, that's where I have more range. This kind of little tweak and doing those exercises, they help a lot. You don't just stay in one particular movement. If little turn here, little turn there, you pretty much creating a different dynamic of your exercise, and it helps stimulate different muscle fibers. That's my humble opinion, and of course, I might be wrong, but based on what I'm seeing with my body and things like that, so that's why I'm saying it. Professionals may contradict whatever it is that I'm saying, but it works for me. Everybody's different. So here, I believe I started doing both legs now. Okay, I started tiptoeing. Again, my knees are locked in. That burn. That's where the tiptoeing part. That's where you have more stimulation with the toes, because the toes have a lot of joints, and there's a lot of connection on the. I have a picture of a foot with all the veins and the muscle connections that things like that. So I'll put a picture of that just to show you. I consider the foot similar to a hand, how you work your forearms. So the more motion you do with your fingers, the more muscle stimulation you will have for your forearms. Again, my humble opinion. And there's a video I did the other day. I put it separately when I was using this machine, and I think I sort of explained my routine a little bit more thorough, and I think I threw in some pictures and things like that. So take a look at that video. It's really, I try my best to explain things how I do them. Hopefully they might be helpful. Again, please, I am not a professional. I really want to stress this out. I am not a professional. I have no knowledge or experience in the medical field. So these are the things that work for me, and that's what I'm sharing. Okay, here I'm moving my yeah, I'm not moving my feet. I'm moving my feet because it's burning. Alright, so I move my feet slightly higher, and I'm doing another repetition. I don't know if I should put this in a different video, or yeah, maybe I should, so that one video don't get too long. Maybe on my vlogs I'll explain, I'll take little clips here and there, but I'll put this all the workouts by themselves, because I will not be fast forwarding. I'll be showing you guys the full length of it. Because oh yeah, my calves were really burning. And then after that, I think I did not record it. I increased the weight to 130 pounds, and then I just did it just to stretch my calves. And this one, it took me a while to whether or not I should record it, and I was like, you know what, let me just do it. And looking at it here, it's not bad at all. There's the calf machine on the other side. That's the one I was using. And here I didn't do that much repetition, and here I just, I did I think this one was 30 pounds single legs, and I just held it back, the way that I'm doing it. And then I did the other leg the same way, and I held it a little bit. Fast, and I believe whatever I recorded, that's all I did on the on this machine. I didn't do much. And then afterward, and I just went freestyle. I did whatever that came to mind. And the reason I went to the gym today is because tomorrow, Saturday, I will not be going, so I had a lot of energy. And I think I sort of mentioned in my yesterday's vlog, I think the way that I ate the day before, because last night I ate pasta. I don't normally eat around 6, 7 o'clock like that, so I waited until my husband, I ate with him, and and I think that sort of helped with my energy level. And I did talk about my food. This is a video I think you guys should check out, because I did the food in 2 different ways. So my version, the same kind of meal, but preparing slightly different. So here I was done with legs. I did not do the band exercise. I don't know, I just didn't feel like doing it, so I didn't do it. So here lately, when I do some bench press with the barbell, as you can see, there's different grooves on the bar. So I use that as a guide for me. So I will do 10 repetitions like this, the way I have it here. Sometimes I go closer, and here I move my hand at a different location on the bar. I use those grooves again as a guide, do 10 repetitions. And the less rest you take, the more that thing really burns. And and I do the last one, which is wide, 10 repetition. This one is easier, that's why I did it last. Sometimes if I'm doing, let's say, more than one set or more than whatever, I'll switch my hand position different at each set. Sometimes I start the way that I just did. Sometimes I start wide, the opposite. Sometimes I just do random hand placement on the bar. So here I decide to do some shoulder press. And for some reason, I don't want to make this as a big deal, but one of my shoulders, I believe is the left one, it was feeling weak. It's not the first time that happens where I feel that kind of weakness. And when I was pushing the thing, the bar, I felt like I wasn't doing it straight. So here, that thing that I do, a little stretch sometimes I do when I feel that kind of, I only did this because of that weakness I was feeling on my shoulder. And I threw in a shrug in while I was in that position. And here, I decided to do some upright row. Unfortunately, he didn't see my shoulders good enough, but that's the movement I was doing. It's just 40 pounds, so that was the only thing I record here. And I think I record something else after that while I was on the bench. I decided to do some other things after I did the other set. Again, even though the glass is very bright in the background, I'm really impressed the way the phone is recording. My last phone that I had, it was I think $30 or $40 phone. When I record, it's very dark, but this one is still kind of dark, but it's much better. Let's just say. So here I'm working my back. This is just a 5 pound. It's really not that heavy at all. And as you can see, it's almost like a shrug. I'm just making my back muscle do it. I did 10 repetitions like that, and then I superset it right away. You won't even see. You just have to count the reps that I'm doing. I superset it and I move the thing slightly more. And then I do another, I superset it again. I did a wide fly. Kind of fly kind of thing. It's just different little muscle fibers that I'm working in the back. And here, this is why I use a 5 pound, because I'm gonna do a lot of repetitions. And I'm doing here where I'm pushing slightly back. There's a video that I did when I had my neck muscle spasm. I was doing some movement. I think I call it shadow exercises or something. It's almost the same movement that I did on that video. I'll look for that video and I'll put the link for you guys. It's the same movement. This time it's just with that 5 pound weight. And here I decided to do both arm, and 5 pound was light, so I decided to double it and did it the way that I'm doing right now. And I moved back slightly, a different angle, almost like a row. And then I switch arm. I took a break. It was burning. There, slight movement with the shoulder, and then right I move. I did like a row kind of thing. This one is more like a fly. There's the row now. Moving it back more. Okay. Now I believe I did I forgot I did that. Now that's without any weight. That's another superset again. After you did it with all those weight, especially if you go heavy, once you do it with body weight, it's gonna feel almost like you're lifting a ton as well. My back was burning afterward. And if you saw one of my videos yesterday, where I did record with my phone, I probably will record more with my phone. one of the things I point out was the definition on my back. So these are small little movement that I do to help develop the muscles. Not just one specific movement, it's variation of movement. And I believe that was a 30-pound that I was doing that row here. And here I switch it up with a 40-pound. See, I took a couple paws up. There's the paws. There's the paws. And those little paws are the burning one. If you do it fast, you're really not gonna feel it as much. So those small little paws really help a lot. They stimulate the muscles and it burns like hell. Here, I was doing something. I don't know if I wasn't gonna record this because I did it before and I have shown it. Here I put, I believe it was 120 pounds, right? It's very hard to pull. You can see me the way I push the thing down. And here, I did explain this in one of my videos, but my feet is sort of block it. It's just my shoulders that's moving it. Even wearing that long sleeve shirt, you could still see the muscles working. The thing pulled me up. It was really heavy. Then here I superset it with some side, whatever that called. Right? I just felt like doing it. I did a couple sets before and then I felt like doing that and now I can get the 40-pound to do it. I don't know, my feet was blocking it. I will have to fast forward some of them. There again, the other side. Sometimes I do this on the cable. There's a cable platform. I usually do this movement. And then I went right back. There's not much rest at all. My feet are really blackened. And then now I do full range, the lat pull down. It's funny, one thing I realized when I start to exercise where I go really heavy, but I just do minor movement with that heavy weight. When I lower the weight slightly and do the movement with full range, it feels so much better. And I've done that with the two-handle lat pull down. It really feels really good. So here I did the side crunch, I believe, whatever this movement called. I put the weight slightly in front of me. Okay. And after I did it, I felt my lower back slightly, so I had to be careful with this. I usually do this with the cable. Not often I do that with the weight. My rest time is pretty not much. I didn't know my feet was really underweight that much. You could see all the muscles. Well, you cannot see it, but you could sort of. There, I move slightly 45 degrees. Do the same thing. When I do that, I really try to keep my core as tight as possible. Otherwise, it's not worth it. If you're moving around, it's not worth it. There's a video I did when I was at my old gym. I did explain how the way I do my lat pull down. The main thing is to keep your body as tight as possible and use the pad to anchor yourself, and then try not to wiggle around when you're doing the movement. The only thing that should be moving is your, the muscles that you're trying to target, the shoulder joint and your arm. That's the only thing that should be moving. And then you use your feet to lock yourself in with the pad. And I think that was the only thing I record on this. What else did I record? I don't remember what I record. I went back to this machine. Again, this is freestyle. I'm just doing whatever that came in mind. I decided to do some triceps, and this particular video was on my last video. I decided to put the camera slightly at a different area, so the machine don't shake it as much. I had a hard time editing it because the thing was shifting, and I had to readjust it each time I moved the cable. And here I do. I think here I switch my arm to the supinated, and then I superset it again overhead. I think it was only 10 pounds. That thing was burning as hell. Alright, so I did one arm. I think whatever I record here was the only thing that I did here, because I did it yesterday, so there was really no reason for me to do it, but I had the energy. That's one thing. When I'm at the gym, I have the time and I have the energy, I will use it. Here I'm working my forearm. That's pronated grip. I decided to do it with the other hand before I forget, because I didn't do it at first. Alright, so move it mid-level. Okay, that's neutral. Again, I'm working my forearm. That's neutral grip. And one thing I don't mind doing, when I'm not using a joint that it's supposed to be moving, I don't mind, take my other hand to help it, to keep it sturdy, because the goal here is to work the muscle. So the wrist is what should be moving right now to help with the forearm. Similar to what I said earlier with the calf raises, I consider them almost the same way as I do legs. And this part I did it yesterday. That's why I was talking about my back. It's the same movement. I went really heavy, and I'm just moving my shoulders, somewhat of a shrug. Then I lower the weight, and I move more joints now, the shoulders and the elbow. And I like to do that where I work one side of the body. It helps much better to stimulate the muscle. And here, this is another lazy version of lateral raises. If you see my yesterday video, I did explain this, and I think I put links of the other videos that I'm sort of referring to. Now I'm doing the other arm. It's almost like a shrug. The majority of the movement is on my shoulders. I lower the weight, and I get more additional muscles involved. There's a little bit more of a movement. Okay, lower the weight. And now there's the lateral raise, the lazy version. It was very lightweight. I don't need to go really heavy when I'm doing all those supersets. And here is a supinated hand grip position for the forearm. And then I superset it with bicep curls. As you can see, the machine was already at that position. Why not just use it? And then here I went straight to shoulder press. It's the same thing that I did yesterday. Switch arm. There's another thing I did here. I guess I didn't record it. I did some face pull and some other things on this machine. I'll look to see if maybe it's the next video. I don't know if I record anything else after that. And I went down the rack. That I know I didn't record because I had it yesterday on my last video. And I think that's all I recorded. Let me see, what else do I have? Yep, that was it. And thanks for watching. Let me know what you think. Some of you I have people asking me questions about my workout, what I eat. I mean, I don't do anything fancy, but those videos, I'm only putting them, I'm doing them, and I decided to share it with you, and because you guys are asking. So that's it. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe, like, and share.